Going on, y'all? If you tune in for the first time, I thank you so much. Go ahead and do what the YouTubers say. I'm not gonna say it, but one of my favorite peoples in college football, Jon Gruden, coming back for another series with Barstool. You know, he had his QB classes, just got finished with one with Taylor Green, and with all the college football firings we had, he's coming in with with the sleeper series. You know, bringing us his sleepers with NFL draft. Taylor Green could be a sleeper or a project pick in this year's NFL draft. I have some guys. Jaden Ott is a project that I can't wait to see what he does in the league. I feel like he would get a shot. I feel like Oklahoma was trying to change him into a offensive lineman and how they were saying, hey, you have to pass block and how much they cared about it. So we'll see what happens with him. But with all the college football firings we had last year, y'all, you know, Pat McAfee and the media, they were advocating for him to get a job somewhere in the SEC. We had Auburn, we had Penn State, whole lot of jobs, you know, open in Arkansas and Auburn, Penn State. It's what have you done for me lately at a lot of those top D1 programs, and that's how it should be here. You know, we're in year 5, and yeah, I'm gonna get an Nancy Lincoln. Like, I kind of want to make the playoff, man. So we'll see what happens with that. I wouldn't be too mad at Jon Gruden coming over, checking out our program if it doesn't happen with Lincoln Riley. But I have one coach in mind, and he's been, you know, lingering, saying, just throwing out subliminals like, hey, oh, you see what's happening with USC Urban. Okay, Urban Meyer, you need to stop playing around. Okay, if it doesn't work out, like, come on over, brother. Okay, we need you. We need you to change. I saw that Florida documentary. Okay, you need to just take the LA away from these kids. Like Mario Cristobal is not recruiting Miami. He's like, hey, you have to see our practices before you commit to Miami. Yeah, okay, that's how it needs to be with USC. You have to see our practices before you commit to LA. Okay, it's not just going to be glitz and glamour. You're not going to date the new TikTok star. You know, even though that would be cool, like a running back dating the new TikTok star or whatever. Hey, that draws attention. But we need wins on the field before we can get to that. You know, Reggie Bush put wins on the field and dated a Kardashian when he did that. So, we just need to get back to some W's. That's all I'm saying. But he's bringing in our sleepers for this year's draft, and LSU, man, a lot of receivers from LSU in this year's draft that could be sleepers. I feel like they could be like Colorado's wide receiver class last year. They had Jimmy Horn, not Deion Sanders Jr., but they had Jimmy Horn, Travis Hunter, and another wide receiver. I can't think of his name right now. If you all know his name, let me know in the comments. But yeah, they all produced for their teams last year. I know Travis Hunter had big expectations, got hurt. Wanted to play two positions. It's not looking like it's going that way. NFL Network was reporting that they're trying to switch him to full time DB and just part time, or just some packages in the wide receiver position. And he replied to a post on X saying, "Hey, who told y'all this? Like, who gave the NFL Network reporters this information?" And some NFL players replied back to him saying, "Oh, they just haven't told you yet, Travis Hunter, that you're playing full time DB." So we'll see what happens with Travis Hunter in that situation. I think it's just Travis Hunter is a player you're gonna have to show him up on the field to tell him, like, you just can't tell him no. You're gonna have to tell him, like, you're gonna have to dog him, tell him, like, you just have to outwork him, outclass him on the field. So we'll see what happens in Jacksonville. But yeah, let's see what Jon Gruden has for some sleepers, y'all. Tune in for this. Hope y'all liking
This is
and
my favorite
subscribing.
part
I
of the
said it
year, the
again.
NFL draft. And we love talking about steals and sleepers. And you guys know how much I love this. I mean, you read that article on The Atlantic. What a complete moron I am, how I don't work and have any clue what I'm doing. It'll be awesome to hear from somebody that actually does. Now, we don't want to waste a lot of time, but what are the steals and sleepers without going too deep and talking too long? Are there 10 guys, 10 guys you want to talk about?
10 guys I want to talk about, Coach.
Let's go.
Let's talk about steals first, because this guy, I think, belongs in the first round. It's a guy
Nussmeyer too.
that
Let's
I
let's see
think
what
people
he
are becoming more familiar with. His name is
could
Maxi
be.
Honicher.
Could be.
All right? Maxi Honicher from Arizona State.
Well, he's going to be in the
That's what I was about to say. He's about to be in the first round, bro.
first round, Bobby.
That's
That's
not
not
where
a
most
sleeper.
platforms have him, but I agree that he belongs there.
Is he?
Who Bobby listening to? They saying he could go like top 20 because as a project pick, just working him. So I don't know what. That's not really a sleeper,
Steal, you're
man.
saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, Maxi
Deal.
Honacher is 6'6", 321 pounds, and has an arm length of 33 and 7/8 inches. Big guy, all right? He was born in Nigeria.
Hasn't played football until he
Y'all
got
want
to
it?
junior
Y'all want it?
college.
That's correct.
That's all great. But at the end of the day,
Like this?
is he a great player? Is he going to be a left tackle like Trent
do it like
Williams?
this.
Is he going to be a right tackle like he is at
Actually, hold on.
Arizona State? What's he going to be?
That's a question. I think he can play both. I have never seen him play at left
Yeah,
tackle. We've
he
only
is.
seen him at right, but he's got the arm length. He's got the
Why the hell
violence
am
to
I
do so.
paused?
That's the thing that kind of separates him between a guy everyone else loves, Monroe Freeling. I don't know if you've seen him. This guy shows natural God-given pop in his strikes. I see better hand placement. I see better action on the move. I love Maxi Honacher. I think he's a guy that is going to fit and blend right in to a system in the NFL immediately.
Where do we steal him at?
Very
I think
young.
this
Only
guy-
been
Second
playing
round, you're
7
saying?
years.
I think this guy is going to go in the first. I think
Well,
he
then
should
he's
go
not
in
a
the-
steal. He's
Yeah,
a first round. What the
exactly.
hell are we doing here, Bobby?
You're going to have 7
Exactly,
guys go
brother.
before him.
Hey, all those wide receivers for LSU, they're not going to go in the first. Like Xavier Brown didn't have uh, a lot of plays that LSU fans were liking. You know, a lot of screen passes, a lot of short passes with those receivers. So we'll see what happens with those wide receivers and what happens with Nussmeier. You know, the system they were in, and Brian Kelly, and the offensive coordinator, were just egregious to watch. Like, ugh.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
you. Give me the next guy, because I'm confused now. Who's a steal?
So they could be
Emmanuel
sleepers, man.
Pregnon.
The
Okay?
guard from Oregon.
Emmanuel Pregnon, guard from Oregon.
We love him here.
We love him.
We hate
watched
him
him with some of the best cleanup tape in the
Yeah.
entire draft
that
at
guy.
guard. I'm going to be honest with
If you switching from Notre Dame to USC, USC to Notre Dame. Actually, we like Urlacher over here. Shout out Urlacher and what he doing. But Pregnon, yeah, screw this guy.
you, John. My favorite
He's an
film
op.
at guard out of watching anybody. Okay?
Even more
But shout
than
out
the guy
him.
at
He's
Penn
gonna be.
State.
He's
Even
been.
more than the
I feel
guy
like he's
from
gonna be
Penn
really
State.
good
Who
in
is
the
the
league.
guy at Penn State?
Vega Iwani.
You like him better than Iwani?
I do.
I thought he was bigger, like
Now,
a
he kind of
6'7". I
has
didn't
a
know he
longer
was
journey than some of
6'5".
these other
He's
guys.
a little
He
short.
started his
He's shorter than I
career
expected,
at Wyoming in
but
2020 when Tiger King was coming on.
that's why we got
so
rid of
a
him,
little
I
bit
guess.
longer
You
of a
know,
journey in
really,
that process.
we
But
wanted guys like
man,
Elijah
you watch this
Page,
guy play.
6'7"
I
or
think he
better.
does everything, if not a
Cole
little bit
Leger,
better in that 2025 tape
6'6".
than Iwani does.
You
Now,
know,
we've done this a long time. You're saying that at the end of these guys' career, when we look back, Max is going to have the best career of all these offensive tackles that are coming out.
You look at these offensive tackles that are coming out, most teams and analysts are saying, well, he'll probably
the
slide into
Utah
the
guy
guard
is going to be
position.
the
That doesn't
best
make him
coming
a tackle.
out.
This guy's
this league.
6'6",
I know he is.
and he ran a 4.91. He gets out of his sets quick, and he's only been playing for a few years.
You're going on record
He's
here,
so
Bobby.
raw,
You're
though.
going on record that Pregnon's going to be the best guard in this draft, and Max is going to be the best tackle in this draft. And maybe the Athletic will write a freaking story about you. Go ahead. Who else you got as a steal?
That guy
Can't
looks
wait.
freaking schmated.
Prestigious platform. I'm going to talk about, now we get into a little bit later, the guys. This is more of a mid-round pick. Kind of reminds me of similar path of Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama because he also comes from the Sun Belt. This guy is Ted Hurst.
Ted Hurst. Go ahead on this. Ted Hurst. I love it.
Ted Hurst from Georgia State, okay?
Wide receiver. Did you see his combine times?
Yeah. 4.42?
Yeah.
4.42 40. Now look, a lot of wide receivers in this draft, they're kind of like either like slot or gadgety, or
Shout
they're
out Georgia
big, but they're
State,
not
most
athletically
people that went
explosive.
there.
I'm taking a shot on a guy that ceiling is massive. This guy is both those things. He is 6'4", and he is over 200 pounds. Okay, now we can talk about the competition. He checked that box at the Senior Bowl. He played extremely well against guys at his level of competition when he got there. I think this is a guy that, does come with his concerns, like 9% career drop rate, but he's young, he's 21 years old. I was actually very surprised with his yak and the twitch ability that he had for that size. I think this guy's ceiling's through the roof. I'm taking a chance on him.
Him and Skylar Bell is probably going to be the two receivers that are going to be like the most slept on, or probably the most slept on receivers that are they're expecting the most expectation. I would say these two guys because they put up so many stats and in college that they might, college fans are expecting these guys to put up some stats, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Where
So,
he's projected more so in the third round, he could go before that.
Okay, I'm with you on Hurst, but I don't really see him as a steal or a sleeper. I see him as a badass. Come on, Bobby, give me some names, man, that I don't know.
Okay.
I've heard of all these guys.
All right. Let me take you back to a place and time.
give him Xavier Brown, homie. Give him that LSU.
Actually, psych.
Come on.
2022. It's the semifinal in the
Come on,
playoffs,
Xavier
right?
gonna be nice. The Kentucky transfer wide receiver
Michigan
to
favored by
LSU.
probably 87.5 points against TCU. 5 minutes into the game, Bud Clark takes an interception, 41 yards to the house. They end up winning that game, 51-45, before they got slaughtered against Georgia.
That was
But Bud Clark is
21?
my next guy from TCU.
Oh, he's
Go
in.
ahead on
Okay,
Bud Clark.
he's a
Safety.
cornerback. I thought he was.
15 career interceptions, including that one against J.J.
He looked
McCarthy.
shifty. I thought
This
he was
guy
a wide
flies
receiver.
around the field. He's also been in the league since 2020 in college football, so he's got plenty of experience, 61 games of experience. The one thing I'm concerned about, size. He's a smaller guy, 6'1", 188, 31.5-inch arms. That does worry me because the durability showed up. Missed 14 games over a 6-year span. Best ability is availability, right, Coach? But other than that, if you put on the tape, this guy flies around. He plays with his hair on fire. It doesn't matter that he's small. He comes in flying against the run game, and he is a gambler. He makes game-changing plays. He takes them to the house.
You're telling me he's a
He
Witherspoon?
did get caught, so he's
You might want to start this conversation by not saying he was on the defense that gave up 51 points to J.J. McCarthy. That's not good because
45.
I want my safety to eliminate big plays. And when I looked at that film, TCU gave up a lot of them. You like Bud Clark as a mid-round pick?
I do. I do.
Okay.
I love him.
Now
All right,
JJ
next name.
McCarthy can't even pass a
Nadeem
ball, bro. What?
Tucker.
So it's not even.
I got to hear
Oh.
this.
Nadeem
Okay.
Tucker.
This
from
is a name.
Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Edge.
Give me the height weight on this cat.
Actually, I think I've heard of this
6'4",
guy.
247.
Yeah, I watched too much
31 and
NFL
3/8 inch
Live.
arms.
Not too bad.
4.73 speed. Now, when
Yo,
you put
Todd
on his
McShay and them
tape,
boys.
you'll find something out immediately about him. He gets after the passer. He had 14.5 sacks, tied for the FBS lead with who? David Bailey. I'm not
Whoa.
sitting here comparing him to David Bailey. I think it's a different skill set. David Bailey's a top 5 pick in my opinion. Who I am comparing him to is Cassius Howell and or Mason Thomas, okay? These are guys that are gonna go above him in this draft, and he has a similar skill
David
set.
Bailey, I
He
don't
is
know.
probably gonna be a little bit more scheme dependent.
He
third
should be
down
like a
pass
top
rusher,
20 pick to
but
me.
It's the same exact argument that you
swagger
have with Cassius
alone.
Howell and R. Mason Thomas. There's areas of concern are in the run game, setting the edge, but he just has just as much bend and twitch and production. He was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's only been playing since his senior year in high school, and he's got untapped potential, I think, as well.
4.73. A lot of production. Good length. Can be an outside linebacker maybe in a 3-4 defense.
Could he be an outside linebacker? Possibly. I don't know if I've seen enough of him in coverage in space to do so, but he is raw, and he has shown massive leaps in production from year to year.
A lot of production. I like this, Bobby. Okay, you've got 5 guys listed on this next board here. Give me the last 5
guys.
sleepers. I need some
I haven't
sleepers.
had 5
Okay.
guys
You know,
in years.
sleepers, you got to have some guys that make your draft. Like, usually the second part of the draft, I'd go to Hooters and just disappear. Like the Athletics said, I wasn't even in there. So give me 5 sleepers that we can get.
All right, Coach. I'm glad you said that because this kind of sets off the sleeper portion.
Wow.
I love this.
Devin Marshall,
Shots,
cornerback,
shots.
NC State. All right? 5'11". Okay, now, this guy is a combine snub. So I'm about to give you the measurements, but I got them off the internet, and that's always 100% correct and accurate. He is 5'11", 197 pounds, 30 and 7/8 inch arm reach. So, not the biggest guy, not the most reach. I fell in love with him watching him destroy my beloved Florida State Seminoles. 2 interceptions and 6 pass breakups in one game. This guy was all over the field. I went back and I watched the tape on this guy. Unbelievable. And it was against good competition.
What does he run?
He runs a 4.45 at his pro day. He ran a 4.45. And I don't think his recovery speed is the best. That's probably his limitation in his game. But he presses better than just about any corner I watched in this draft, and he did it against good competition. Malachi Fields, forced fumble against Miami, coverage against Malachi Toney. didn't get a combine invite, isn't even on some websites listed as a draft prospect in this. Devin Marshall is going to be a steal. He plays with a chip on his shoulder.
I like it. I like it. Give me some more.
All right.
Devin Marshall. NC State's had a lot of good players come out of there. They struggled this year. Give it to me. Xavier Thomas.
Wide receiver.
What's going on with Jeremiah's? Look at that. Look at that. What I tell y'all? What I tell y'all, man? What I tell y'all? Wait, and I shall receive. I tell y'all, don't 4-2. What are we even talking about right now? That's the fastest 40. Who even ran that? Who even ran that in the wide receivers in the combine? Who ran that? It's a done deal, homie. 3rd round. Let's seal it. You're mine, dude. Seahawks, let's go. Okay, that's my team. Let's get them. But I don't even remember what I was gonna say. This dude make me so happy, but
LSU.
Let's go.
5'10", 190 pounds, and an arm length of 30 and a half
We've
inches.
been watching a lot of Nussmeier. You know that.
I know.
We
and
know
Jake,
this.
this is a shout out to Jake. Me and Jake were watching Garrett Nussmeier get demolished on a few plays with what we could call at best.
Oh, Jeremiah Smith, quarterback. That's what I was thinking of. What's happening with him at NC State? Is he gonna be somebody? You know, his draft stuff and the draft coming up next year. We'll see. I think they got a new offensive coordinator, so we'll see what happens with CJ Bailey and NC State. A lot of teams were trying to get him out of NC State. Looks like Darian Mensah goes to Miami. That's where he's from. They could have pulled him, but you didn't have too much tape. Darian Mensah's shown a lot of promise. So I would have went with Darian Mensah too. But we'll see what happens with CJ Bailey, and will he be a late round pick, and can he bring NC State out of the ashes?
Offensive line play, correct?
Very.
Shout out Xavier, man.
Out to the flat.
I'm telling y'all, Xavier ain't gonna
against
be
Vanderbilt.
somebody.
He's
Yeah.
surrounded by 7 players. What does he do?
Touchdown.
Beats all of them. Not only does he beat all of them, he breaks the initial contact,
I
breaks 2 more
told
tackles,
y'all,
gets the
bro.
sideline and
I
takes
know
off, and no one
ball.
is
I
even
know
near him.
ball.
Why? 'Cause
This
he's
is
got
the
4.28
sleeper of the
speed,
draft,
and
bro.
he's one
I'm
of the
telling
best
you.
punt returners in the country. You want to talk about
Why you
guys
got him as a
Sleeper.
sleeper then? I mean,
because he's rated in the 7th round and beyond. in
by
most-
the
What? He not first? He not second? Nobody talking about this dude. Come on, Gruden. I did my research. I watched the games. No, nobody's talking. I watch the media every day, homie. Nobody's talking about this guy right here. He's definitely a sleeper, Gruden. He's the guy Brody or whatever his name is. You know what he's talking about.
Athletic or what?
Mostly by the athletic.
Shit. I love this guy. 4.28, great returner.
You'll see
You
when-
know we move guys up.
Reek Woolen, bro. 4'2", 6'4", went in the 4th round. How does it happen? I don't know. DK Metcalf ran a 4'2", is 6'3", went in the 4th or 3rd round. How does it happen? I don't know. But the Seahawks, they picked up on that. A lot of y'all other teams, I don't know what's going on. Tyron Broden, a wide receiver for Arkansas, was 6'7", ran a 4'2" in last year's draft. Is on the Seahawks practice squad. We see talent, bro. If you gonna be that big and that fast, there got to be some correlation somewhere. So I hope we draft Taylor Green as a prospect. You know, he run pretty fast. I don't think we can turn him into nothing, but just let him sit behind Jalen Milroe, learn behind Sam Darnold. Hey, cool out. Let's see what happens. But back
The
to
whole
what we was
point
talking
when they're
about.
returners because you
Exactly.
know they can run after the catch. You know they're tough as hell.
Coach, he's got 95 career returns.
I'm glad you brought up
3 of
Thomas.
them for touchdowns.
Yeah, and he's a great kid. Keep
All-American.
going here. We can't-
All-American freshman.
I found
Don't
him.
bring his name up.
I'm taking credit.
Who else you got?
I do want to do a little story on this guy, okay? Tyron Montgomery.
Hold up. I've been paused the whole time. Y'all couldn't see it. Oh my goodness. That sucks. That
Wide
sucks.
receiver,
Hopefully you got my
John
audio though.
Carroll University.
I love this college, man. This is
Hopefully-
where
hopefully you got my
London
audio.
Fletcher went. This is where Don Shula coached. This is where Josh McDaniels. This is a football heaven, man.
JC.
John Carroll. Tell me about Montgomery.
Nick Casario, Greg.
I don't know
Brandon
this name.
Staley. A lot of names went to John Carroll. I didn't know that they
I
had
feel
that pipeline
bad.
before doing this
Y'all got my
exercise.
audio.
Okay,
Y'all hear me
Little
talk.
story. Indulge me,
Cool.
okay? This kid, He doesn't play in high school either, right? He's the high school
sucks.
captain
It was
of his
probably always
basketball team.
paused the whole
Walks on
time.
to LSU. His mom gets sick, goes back
Damn.
home. It's COVID time. He's looking
Damn.
for a job, right? Oh, wait, that's right. There's no jobs unless you're a Japanese baseball player or a
figure it
WWE
out.
wrestler. So what does he do? He does what all of us did. We went to the backyard with our brother and we threw the pigskin around. And his brother goes, you know, you're pretty good. You could do this. Tries to walk on at Houston. Doesn't make the team. Goes and plays flag football in Miami, okay? He goes to Nicholls State after putting out some film, has limited production, runs out of D1 eligibility, goes to John Carroll University, and all he does is set the single season record in yardage, in receptions, and touchdowns. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Yes, exactly.
Competition. Competition. He
This
does
is
look
insane.
different
How
than
old
these
is he?
guys. He went to the Senior Bowl, and he made guys that are projected to go in the first round at cornerback look silly. He's 25 years old.
Height, weight, speed.
It's 5'11", 190 pounds.
This is a great story.
4.53 speed.
4.53 now. That would be tough for some of us. A lot of these guys I worked for in the past,
5'11",
they said if they
4'5'3"
don't
is
run
kind of
under
terrible.
4.5, they're not for us.
Yeah.
But is he a possession guy? Does he have
50-50
short area
catch
quickness?
artist, body control. He also was tied for 4th in missed tackles.
All right. Let me hear your last two, Bob.
I have no idea what we're doing when we're talking about this guy. Another one of my favorites in this draft. That's Harold Perkins Jr., LSU linebacker.
Pass rusher.
Okay, let's have the
this
conversation.
guy here, I mean, he's unblockable a couple years ago on tape.
True freshman year. He has more tackles for
No.
loss, and sacks.
Yeah.
Go to
in
the
his
7.
First year as a freshman.
Yep,
than
just like
Orville
his
Reese
jersey
does
number. Let him
this year.
fall. Let him
When I
fall to
look
the
at
7.
these players, I see a
I
similar
don't want
prototype,
him.
and I don't understand why we're not talking about one of them.
Height, weight, speed
Because
on Perkins.
he's
Perkins
not
is
productive
6'1",
on the field.
223 with 31.
It's
and 3/8
50-50 with him.
arms.
It's not
He's like
100%.
undersized to play the position.
They said he killed the 7.
People
How
are
do you
concerned.
kill the
That's why I
7
was
at
going to bring up. He runs a
LSU?
4.38. I would like to see him put on a little bit of weight.
I'm not drafting nobody who has the name or the stereotype on his name that he killed the 7 at LSU. He made the 7 die. He didn't live up to the 7. Do you want to draft a player like that? Do you want the sleeper to be on your name like that? I think not. I just think, cool, bro. I'd let the Atlanta Falcons take him or something. That's straight for Atlanta right here. Him. Yep. Atlanta all the way. Or Miami. Oh my goodness. Straight up their alleys.
If you want to take a chance on Orville Reese in the first round, why would you not want to take a chance on a guy like this in the 7th and beyond? I don't understand it. He also
Y'all
is a
heard what I
special
just
teamer.
said.
His freshman year, he was a demon on special teams. I love this guy.
He'd be a great role model. Can he play inside like White? Remember the great linebacker that the Bucks took in the top 5?
Devin White, the great linebacker, Super Bowl champion.
Devin.
Listen, honestly, I
Didn't
think
kill the
LSU had an
7.
identity crisis on defense last year. They had him playing in coverage as this off-ball linebacker, kind of an overhang position. He struggled, I think, as a zone coverage linebacker. I don't know if that's his role.
Oopie.
What I know he's really good at is instinctual getting downhill. I know that he's great spying the QB. You go back and you watch his arsenal of pass rush moves as a true freshman, it's better than
Oh, it's
Orville Reese to
awesome.
me.
But if you get a guy like that can be a special teamer, a situational pass rusher, a guy that can come in and spy.
Special teamer. Damn. That's not what 7s at LSU do. That's not what they made to do. Leonard Fournette, Tyrann Mathieu, the list goes on, homie. They were not no special teamers. First round all pros. What are we doing? What are we doing?
On Lamar Jackson or one of these great scrambling quarterbacks, man, that's worth its price in gold. But
Yeah.
this guy here, man, he really flashed 2 years ago,
He
man.
was his first round pick 2 years ago.
I mean, we were talking about him in his true freshman game against Arkansas like he was the next coming of Lawrence Taylor.
Who's the last guy?
Josh Moten,
Josh Moten.
Southern Miss, cornerback.
Let's hear the size on him. Is he big enough to play outside? Can he go inside?
I don't think so. I think he's an outside zone corner. I think that's what he is. Now, he is way off people's boards. He's not even listed as far as being draftable at this point in time. One thing stood out to me that made me watch the tape, and that is his coverage against Jeremiah Smith 2 years ago in 2024, where he stacks him and gets the pick on Jeremiah Smith, and it's all over.
You've been talking about this pick for 2 years.
There were a lot of people who told me Jeremiah. See, like, the thing about Jeremiah Smith is he going to be another. You have to have your quarterback situation already ready because we saw with the Cardinals when they drafted Maserati Marv and all the names. It just we haven't really seen nothing. He hasn't really lived to his name or the hype. So hopefully with Jeremiah Smith, he lives up to the hype and the name because I've seen Miami corners have locked him up and their Indiana corners have put press on him. The little corner from Indiana, he even gave some problems to Jeremiah Smith. So it's every dog has his day. So we'll see what happens when Jeremiah Smith gets to his, but hopefully he gets a QB. His QB situation is straight. I would think the Texans, yeah, that would be straight. Give him to CJ Stroud, another weapon over there. Tank Dell, hey man, get in the weight room. But he been hurt for a minute, so we'll see what happens with Jeremiah though.
It's all over the
You
film.
love Moten. I mean, you got a picture of Moten in your office.
I like small, feisty guys. It's
I
just
did
the way
too,
to
man.
operate. Like he plays just with fire, intensity for a guy his size. As far as late round flyers, I want guys like that on my team. It's infectious to me. Okay.
Will he tackle?
He can tackle, yeah. He can tackle. I do think one of his weaknesses is being bullied by bigger wide receivers that are blockers. I do think that is a concern at the next level. But as far as instincts go,
Put a tight
reading
end
and
on him.
making
He's
big
cooked.
time plays,
Good
I believe he's
God.
got what is it?
Bro, put a tight end
10
on this boy.
interceptions in the last
Good
2
Lord.
years.
He's
got
done.
22 career pass
6
breakups.
foot
Taking a
185.
chance on a
A
guy
lot
like
of
Josh
balls.
Moten.
He's got a lot of ball production. There's no doubt about it. But I look back on these guys.
Let a
over
tight
here on
end
the
swing
left,
or something.
Craig Nunn.
Or pull.
Interesting. You think he's the best guard?
I do.
Honitcher, you got him as the best tackle.
I do.
Ted Hurst. I don't
Penn
think he's a
State boys
sleeper.
say
He was
different.
like 2 months ago, but right now his stock after the combine, when people start looking at his tape and his body of work, I think he's going to go a lot higher.
Jaden
because of
I.
his true
I got a
size.
better sleeper list than
Bud
he
Clark.
does.
Tucker's very
If I really
Western
dived in,
Michigan.
I would have gave you a
Marshall
top
and
10
Moten.
really
Who would you
clean though.
Devin
You know?
Marshall. I
Xavier
think
This
he's a
guy's list is really good too.
I mean, those
Pregnon,
LSU guys,
no.
man. You can never
He's
go
not really
wrong
a sleeper.
drafting cats out of LSU.
Yes,
Well,
you
let's
can.
go back to last
In this
year.
year's
You had the
draft, you can.
receiver
On that
no one
defense,
even thought about that went to the Patriots.
dude,
Tell me about that cat.
you might get a dude that threw up because his stepdaddy or whatever came on the team and he threw up. That's LSU. That was LSU's defense last year. Throwing up because Lane Kiffin became the head coach. He was dating his daughter.
Efton Chisholm, man.
Efton Chisholm, you brought him up. Efton Chisholm. We're sitting in here. We even had Madison in here. And you're like, Efton Chisholm. We're all laughing at you.
I mean, he ran a 4.71.
What? He ran a 4.71?
A 4.71. I mean, coming from the Raiders, that's just not going to work.
I don't know, Coach.
Bobby.
Do you like over 300 receptions? Do you over like
Chisholm.
10,000 yards? Do you like 7,000 touchdowns in his career at Eastern Washington?
Guess who has a AFC championship ring? Efton Chisholm, man. So you've done a hell of a
Efton
job
Chisholm.
bringing names like this to the table. I can't
Dude
wait
looks
to look
pissed.
back on this draft this time next year to see if you were right.
Yes,
Because
sir.
if you're wrong, the Athletic will write an article on your ass.
The
I can't believe-
Athletic, man. Wow. But that is the video, y'all. Let me know what y'all sleepers in this year's NFL draft is. What your teams, Iowa might have some O linemen in there that might be some sleepers. We're seeing a guy that everybody loves. They're calling him the White Gorilla or something like that. They calling him Rampage. So we'll see what happens with that Mohawk dude or whatever. But I'm out of here. Makai, make me proud.